My mother was in a bad car accident in order to where she needed the pills for herself.
Stephen Simpson knows the dangers of prescription pain pills all too well. At the age of 15, he decided to try his mother's oxycodone tablets.
And so I tried it. And from then on, I was able to just have the pills readily available.
Stephen continued to steal his mother's pills, but never all at once. That would have alerted his mom to his growing drug addiction.
Because I'd only take 1 or 2 at a time. I didn't want her to know. There's no way. So I'd only take 1 or 2 of them at a time.
From there, Stephen's life spiraled downward. He hung out with friends who used drugs too. Eventually, needing more and more opiates to get high, he moved to cheaper, easier to get heroin.
And that's how most people actually start off. They don't act. Most people actually know heroin's bad, right? It's not good. So at that point, they're not going to exactly just go pick up heroin. But if you say Vicodin or you say Oxycontin, they ended up going and grabbing it.
The obvious question comes next. Why would someone who knows heroin is bad choose to do it? Well, Stephen tried to stop and he found it just hurt too much.
Let's just say if you just have every single muscle in your body aching until you cannot ache anymore, not be able to sleep, not be able to do anything, just every single, from your head to your toes, just aches. And you just want to do it again. And when you do it again, it ends up in the exact same places where you were, but just a couple days later.
Heroin addiction is a family disease, and Stephen was taking his family down with him. His brother Joe Simpson remembers seeing his brother deteriorate.
Mom had opiates lying around, and really at a young age, that was his first thing he ever tried.
But from that pain came an idea that could help other families.
I decided, you know what, these just need to be locked up. Let's stop this problem at the source, and it was ease of access within the household.
But a quick internet search showed there was no such thing as a locking bottle. So Joe Simpson decided to make one. His partner and college roommate, Nate Langley, remembers the day.
Joe starts tearing apart a bunch of locks in the house, and I asked him, "What are you doing here?" And I kind of had an idea, and he told me about the situation with his family because we were close. And from there, that's kind of how it all started.
We do run into people that say, this is exactly what I was looking for. I needed something to keep my medication safe.
And with some hits and misses, it reached a final design, a 4-digit combination lid.
We did some testing, and we actually started with a 3-digit combination and tested it with a bunch of kids, early teenagers, and most of them got into it within about an hour. But when we switched it to 4 digits, that made it 10,000 possible combinations. Only one kid got in, and it was because it was set to 1, 2, 3, 4.
While the idea came from some of the worst times in the Simpsons' lives, it's having a positive impact across the country. Primex Therapeutics is telling pharmacies to dispense some of their narcotics with safer lock. The Department of Defense is testing the effectiveness of the locking bottle as part of the National Defense Authorization Act. And the state of Illinois is pushing pharmacies to dispense narcotics with these locking bottles, something Cook County, Illinois has already begun doing.
It's the one thing that somebody who gets a prescription should be really selfish about is, hey, my doctor prescribes these to me, these are for me, and not for my 10-year-old kid to experiment with.
And while their product was born from addiction, Stephen is now 4 years clean and helps run the company his addiction helped inspire. He says if this had existed when he was 15, it would have made all the difference.
I wouldn't have done it because I wouldn't want my parents to know. All these pills need to be locked up. I mean, it's the gateway to heroin.